All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Episode 6.
He's
gone, but he's not dead. Not dead. Mm-hmm. We can get him back.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Maybe.
Yeah.
This is the only JoJo outside of Jonathan we've actually seen die.
Yep. And stay dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Actually, die, where they then fully die. Like Joseph's death doesn't really count.
Exactly. Yeah. But that is a great way to keep Jolyne in the prison. And okay, this villain was clean. They had their stand. Go and pick up the gun. People can't see stands. Perfect. Okay. And now the one thread, connecting you back to what happened. It's gone.
It's completely gone. Mm-hmm. As a threat, this stand user and their stand being something that is either imprisoning other stands, taking some aspects of their abilities and just incorporating them to themselves, creating just a collection of discs basically that they can utilize at a future point where they have to be consumed or something like that. I'm excited to see what the limitation is on this stand.
Sure.
Otherwise, the idea of Jotaro's soul or his spirit or just some essence of who he is being incorporated onto the disc. It would be fun to see Jotaro be back, but never maybe in that physical form again. Maybe where they have to find some way to turn him into a...
He gets put in a tortoise or something,
or into a Walkman,
Right.
And you just have your headphones on and you're listening to Jotaro talk to you,
That would be pretty hilarious. Yeah.
But would you need a microphone attached so that you could talk to Jotaro?
I don't know. But then you could have something where if the villain actually destroys the Walkman, it's you shouldn't have destroyed my Walkman. But
yeah, I mean that's true. The Walkman would then be really important until you got another one. But in prison, oh no! I spent
how many cigarette packs did I have to? Yeah,
I spent my body to get that Walkman.
Right. And now, how is Jolyne gonna continue this? Because you don't have any leads other than maybe the kid. But
no, the kid could probably be everything she needs.
Yeah.
I think she might not need much more. It just depends on us getting to know the nature of Emporio and what he is as well.
Watch, Emporio is the stand user. Emporio, it's kind of like Emperor, and the stand had a crown.
Sure. If anything, maybe if this kid makes a point to be like, no, I'm a ghost. It's like, okay, so that's why you don't have a stand. But if it's like, no, this kid is just a regular kid, but they're doing all this stuff and what have you, but we never see their stand. It's like, that would be a bit
interesting.
Interesting. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Okay.
Huh.
Let's get an ally, yeah. Oh my gosh. Ermes' stickers, okay.
Wow.
Dang, there it is.
Awesome. Love it. She can generate stickers. So overpowered.
Is my memory okay? Yes! Whoa!
Oh. There's 3 of them. Oh my god.
So as the sticker touches something, it duplicates it.
It copies it.
Yep. But then it recollapses back together.
So I guess the limitation is maybe the size of things she can copy, because it didn't copy like her whole self. It copied the finger.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
Oh my god. Wow.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Oh, they're already making their move.
Does
Giving
this mean
out
that
discs. They're a stand user.
Oh shit.
Oh. Oh, memories. Okay.
All right, so this is the soul one or whatever it is, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
No idea.
What? Scoot.
Yeah.
Scoot.
Oh. Yeah, because all his memories are gone.
All of his, or would it have been whatever was stuck inside him? His memories. No. Oh my god,
What?
no.
Wait. What?
Highway to Hell, Thunder, Macqueen. Wow. Oh. So his stand is something that afflicts others with whatever he's currently experiencing.
Probably, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's strangling himself. Jeez.
Okay.
Cool. Arigato. Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Some pretty crazy tendencies.
Cool. Two noses. So it
Oh,
does work
yeah,
on
good
parts
idea.
of herself. Yeah.
Yep. Maybe get him in a straitjacket or... Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh. Alright. But if he's the janitor...
Oh, hey, Emporio. Hey. Oh. Shit.
Alright.
I like that they're talking so much about this, like...
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Shit.
Damn.
He's cutting himself again.
So it works at range, yeah. Shit. Gotcha, so he probably passed out or something.
Yep, so you have to go to the infirmary, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Huh.
Is Emporio's thing that, like, he has to only be seen by, like, certain people then? Oh my god. Yeah, tell him the truth, yeah. Okay, okay, we're talking.
Oh.
Shit.
But it was technically a manslaughter, yeah.
Wow, so now he's here.
Uh-huh.
No! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Ah, yes. That was... Oh.
My mother was killed by panties, you know?
Right.
Yeah, Choto Tamate, yeah.
And I want to die with this being the last thing I remember.
Before my passing, yep. Yep, oh no.
Uh-huh. Yep, yep.
Duplicate it quick so it splits. Shit.
Oh, no. Oh.
Cool, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, here's the stand.
All right.
Kiss. Perfect.
Sweet.
Wow.
I love it. All right.
Holy shit. Nice.
I love that we got a perspective focus on a completely different character, right? Like, it didn't have to be Jolyne running into her again and being like, oh, you have this power. I love the stand user system. Like,
this is a good one. This is a really good one. We get an introduction to Ermes Costello's stand and abilities, and kind of a reintroduction to her as a character, which was a fun way to show that, she's very different from Jolyne, but she's also very desperate in her situation here, but also very quick and clever at figuring out, like, Christopher Columbus is...
Bugs Bunny's birthday is...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, wonderful. But also, structurally, this being a time in which Jolyne is sequestered away from everyone else, meaning that the story doesn't need to focus on her for a little bit of time, where we show what happens when Whitesnake is going around recruiting people. Now, we have our first person in that regard in Macqueen. I liked the idea that this was a person that didn't really ever use their stand intentionally, though.
Yeah.
Because the idea that a person discovers not only that they have this ability, but how to use it properly is something that makes, someone like Ermes rather smart.
Sure.
Being able to be like, okay, I'm going to logic this whole thing out, other than being like, stickers, oh, this is weird, I'm going back to sleep,
Yeah, but not all characters would. I mean, well, okay, this is JoJo's. All characters could be that smart, but it's the whole thing of like, oh yeah, if there's stand users in a prison and then other stand users are trying to figure out their ability, that might get weird if it's like, what are you doing? I don't know. This thing just started happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, we have our structure for potentially the whole story moving forward. Whitesnake can give stands out like the stand arrow.
Right.
Which is a very, very, very terrifying prospect. The difference is that it is not generating stands. It is stealing
Using a
stands.
library.
And giving them out from their library. Which I think gives us an interesting little limitation here, is that eventually Whitesnake will run out of stands to offer.
Sure.
Even if there's a point in which a stand keeps getting passed around, say like someone uses it, and then they get defeated.
Right.
And then Whitesnake quickly comes and grabs the CDs and is like, no, I don't want you taking this one.
It's early Netflix. You get it, and then you use it, and then when you're done with it, you send it back, right? And then that way it just keeps going.
I think one of the coolest things that they could set up for this entire prison story is having the idea of people being aware of the stands being passed around, not knowing what they are, but then creating this whole economy.
Yeah,
this whole economy based around stands being passed around. And even though it's not going to be called stands, they could have their discs, kind of thing for it. So.
Oh yeah, it's like, what are these CDs everybody's buying? I don't know.
Yeah.
But hey, you just got $5,000. Well, not necessarily. She hasn't actually gotten it yet.
Yeah.
But she has access to $5,000, which in a prison, holy shit.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
But what that also tells us is that, again, we are reinforcing the idea that Whitesnake has probably been in this prison for quite a while. 1, because of the amount of money. 2, because of this stand being something that we have not seen before, meaning that there's a high likelihood that even though maybe because Whitesnake is in here, other stand users have been attracted to this prison.
That's a great point.
The idea that stand users maybe are typically being sent to this prison.
But
I also really love the idea that in Florida, weirdos with stands get sent to this specific prison. Yes, Florida may be crazy, but this prison is where we send the especially crazy from Florida. Yeah. Absolutely. But all right, Ermes is set up to be a party member eventually for Jolyne.
Yep.
Once Jolyne is out of the punishment ward for getting, her punishment from breaking out.
Yeah, and I like that there's consequences for that because it's it feels very much like this could be like one of those stealth games where it's like, okay, what's the awareness of the guards or the all that, but it doesn't just reset back to 0, right? Because you hide in a bush or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's no. You're an inmate. They know who you are, right? And that's bad behavior. We're going to punish you for it, right? So it can add to that kind of cat and mouse game, even though when it comes right down to it, if our protagonists are stand users and at the very least some of the people in the prison aren't, that's a bit of an advantage.
It is,
yeah.
Okay. The character Macqueen was hilariously charming at times, and then was like, "Oh God! Oh no! Oh God! Oh no!"
Like the fact that it's like, "Oh, you actually are so nice," and it's like, "Oh wait, no. I see where this is going."
It's a Rocky's style at just like, I'm going to poke fun here, and we're like, this is a suicidal person. I feel kind of weird laughing about this.
But at the same time, the whole thing of
really funny though.
He really did have the shittiest luck.
He did.
Someone else decides to kill themselves, and a misfire with my gun
as he was
kills them instantly before they hit the ground.
There's multiple levels of unfair here.
Yeah.
But also just the idea of a Rocky being like, what's a really unlucky thing to happen in the U.S.?
Right. No, exactly.
Happen anywhere else.
Yeah.
I was cleaning my gun.
Yeah. I was just there with my shotgun,
Pointing it up to the apartment above me.
Right. Yeah. The whole thing, for some reason it was,
the safety was off,
or it was always that too. But the fact that he mentioned it was always loaded when he was cleaning it. Right.
Well, there's a inferred possibility in that of
it was subconsciously going around in his head.
And that he was already thinking about
suicide,
himself.
and he just wasn't looking at it because it was a scary thought, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But then all of a sudden, misfire, and but at the same,
Jesus,
someone that was literally about to die in like half a second,
It's hilarious in that the cosmic coincidence of it is really fucked, but also just the idea of, okay, but at that point you didn't have a stand making you do this, essentially.
Nope. Yeah, so that's
not making you do this, but
giving extra consequences.
Giving extra consequence to this, right, exactly.
Right, it definitely wasn't something, even though we didn't even see it happening this way in the episode, it wasn't like his stand caused the girl to kill herself or anything, because that's not even how it works, but he didn't even have a stand back then, so completely just unfortunate accident.
Yeah, what did you think about Whitesnake psychologically analyzing the guy to the point where it was like he knew Macqueen?
Right.
Like, it's not the kind of thing of where he's like, I've heard of you. It seemed like he was like, no. I've observed you over the years you've been here.
Right. Well, one of the things that I'm a bit curious about is that when Macqueen was knocked out, the discs popped out, right?
Right.
Now, I would think that would only happen, so Whitesnake had gotten to Macqueen, right?
Yeah.
And that's how he got his stand. But did he also potentially muck with his memories at all? Good chance that he didn't, right?
Yeah, probably not.
But
he could have.
But he could have, theoretically, right?
Because we now know that the soul disc, essentially, is more the memory disc,
right? Because the stand is the soul of the person, right? Made manifest and all.
Well, right. But the difference is that the stand ability is not in the soul disc. The stand ability is in the stand disc.
Yep.
The other disc is the purest expression of the person,
right?
Which draws a line separating them. That stands are not necessarily souls,
right?
That's something that's important that I think they've been slightly building up actually ever since Joseph died in part 3.
Right, and we did see a ghost in part 4.
And that was a whole plot line in part 4. And I could very much see this being a thing where they're starting to draw actually out what a stand is by having a stand villain that literally can analyze
people.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Yeah, slices out the brain and takes a little chunk out and can
figures
use
out
that
how
play
it
with
works.
this. Yeah, because it's something that duplicates in a weird way what the stand arrow can do. So then, what is the nature of the soul then, if it's not the stand? Meaning those are two separate things.
Right.
You could say it's the stand ability, but not actually the thing that ties the stand to the person that links them so that when you hurt a stand, the person takes damage, Because that's another mechanic that's just been there all this time, but maybe now they're going to break down why that actually is the case.
Right. Even though there are some where that doesn't happen when it's like the remote stands or whatever.
Well, right. That's only for those ones.
Yeah.
But the overwhelming majority of stands
do cause the actual damage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the other things that could be interesting here is that so the idea of it being like the soul of the person, right? We kind of figured that out from the previous episode where it shows Jotaro on the disc, right? But here they first mentioned it as being the memory disc, right? So maybe it's something where this is the accumulated experiences of the person, and that's kind of what helps.
Soul.
Yeah, that's what helps to give the individuality, in addition to the stand being some other raw representation of it.
The difference is that it's not all the memories of the person, because once the disc was removed, the guy still had some. Yeah. All he had remaining in him was the stand disc that was giving him the ability to then hurt Ermes when he would try and commit suicide. So therefore, the disc that was essentially put in him might not have been with regards to his memories. And this is an important thing to note there.
Okay.
That means then that disc needed to be given so that he could use the stand of the other person. But then, when it was removed, the stand was still being used.
Yeah, and
so
this might... I could see this potentially just being something where it's like, okay, the whole taking out the memories, you want to have it be some like stand users attraction. They're still linked to their memories, kind of, because if you were to completely take out someone's memories and stuff, you'd kind of get what we had with Jotaro in the previous episode, where he just is a limp body, right? Like there's nothing to him anymore.
Which means it wasn't his own stuff that was removed there. Those discs weren't his discs, if that makes sense. Whitesnake did not use, like, meaning that we know that these discs were given to him. They weren't taken from him by Whitesnake, because if they were, then the one that wasn't the stand disc would have probably made him like an inert person.
Wait, actually, hold on. The thing with Jotaro was just an immediate effect, because afterwards he was still able to sacrifice himself for Jolyne and say final words and all of that stuff.
You're right. Yeah.
So the direct mechanics of how much exactly the disc affects the person is a bit like
it's a bit vague.
Yeah, it's a bit vague, right? We don't know exactly to what extent it affects them. But
okay, Emporio then.
Yeah.
Emporio shows up to Ermes. Very much understands that Ermes has a stand.
Right.
Now, I want to put out the idea that there's a couple things that are a bit weird about Emporio.
Yep.
One is that he has only been seen by stand users. But a thing that's good to remember, and this is why I think it could be very easy to like misconstrue some things here, he was not actually seen by Jotaro ever.
Right. Now,
because that was during the dream.
That was during the dream. But a lot of the stuff from the dream still carried over and was, like...
But Jotaro had never seen the kid, though.
Right, exactly.
My point is that the kid has only been seen by two people in this entire story. Ermes and Jolyne.
Yep.
Those two characters have stands. There's a possibility that this kid is actually a stand. That's not what I think it is. But I just want to throw out that
I can see it, because
because
one of the other things that the biggest thing that I would say is maybe a thing against the whole stand deal, right, is the fact that he's talking. He seems to have so much personality.
Well, yeah, but we know stands that can talk.
Right, exactly. We know stands that
can
talk.
And his backstory of the whole thing with his mother.
Right, but I could also totally see it being something where, especially if his mom is in a prison.
His mom's dead.
Well, no, right, but she originally was sent to this prison before she ended up being killed.
And he was born here.
Oh, that's right. He was born here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This backstory is the biggest thing that contradicts him an idea of being a stand, because I don't think too much they would put stock in the idea of having Emporio share his backstory at a point where there was not necessarily really any reason to lie, so that we, the audience, would be fooled. So I'm gonna rule that backstory as being accurate. But then, why is it that Emporio can tell immediately that Ermes has a stand?
Right, like, because that's a whole issue, right?
So does Emporio already does Emporio have a stand, and thus we can already start to get some clues as to what kind of stand Emporio has? Because Emporio is one of the 6 characters that's in the OP that very much looks to be in like the "We're the Stand Crew" album cover photo.
Like he definitely seems like he could be that Koichi replacement, of like the small adorable person that's actually going to be super helpful and all that stuff.
Right.
But
like, maybe some kind of clairvoyance, and that's where the ghostly kind of aspects things come from.
Yeah.
Is that it's like I allow myself to physically wander. The one thing we finally found out is a thing that Emporio can't do is that he did not want to go up into the main hall because there were too many inmates there.
Right.
Which feels so weird.
Yeah, what I'm guessing it is that if only stand users can see him, the way that he has been able to survive is by making sure that he avoids any stand users, because he knows that there's someone here who can make stand users, right?
Right.
So it's
if they see him,
then he's screwed, right? So it's I can as long as I'm not in a big public place and I can generally tell whether someone is a stand user or not, then I can avoid them if they're probably an enemy, right? But if he's going up into a public area,
he can't control who he can see, who's seeing him.
Right, exactly. There could be a couple, stand users up there, and then they see him, and then right.
Right. Yeah, that's actually an interesting thought. The idea that Emporio is not necessarily invisible or a ghost or anything like that He's just a kid that's done a really good job at surviving this prison, which I think is more interesting personally. That he's just able
that
to
good
navigate this whole prison.
Yeah.
And no, he's not a registered inmate of any kind. That's why he's got his his baseball uniform on. But the idea that he is using an ability of some kind constantly, and maybe the stand users haven't seen him use it because he very much hides his own stand. Like you're saying, he doesn't want anyone else to notice it. But if he was to maybe go around and, act in front of other people, maybe there's something that he's done in the past that is tipped off Whitesnake.
Sure.
And he doesn't know still who Whitesnake is, but Whitesnake maybe knows a little bit about who he is.
Yeah, knows what he looks like or whatever, because if Whitesnake killed his mom, right, then, that's a very close connection that they have, potentially.
Right. At very least 2 degrees of, or 1 degree of separation.
Right, exactly.
The other idea is something that I thought about that's really interesting about there, I can't go any further, there's too many inmates by the stairs.
Yeah.
Is... what if it's one of those things where he has an ability, but he has also a really dumb, limitation with his ability?
Oh, sure.
Meaning, he can only be seen by one person at a time.
Right, yeah, he can, obfuscate his presence really well, but it only works on so many people.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just this thing of where, oh no, if I do that, I'll, something bad will happen to me or something.
Right, because one of the things that I'm wondering about this is okay, now, I could totally be wrong, but what would happen to a kid that's born while their parent is in prison? I can't imagine he would just live at the prison. I mean, maybe keep him with his mother, but especially if his mom dies,
that's a
right?
good thing to research, because I don't know either, but I think there would come a point where they would basically make the choice to potentially leave the kid in here if and only if the kid had no family that they could contact.
Sure. But
and that might be what happened, is that this kid is truly alone, and it's going to be the wholesome story of how Emporio finds a family in this squad of,
right. Yep.
survivors,
Well, but I could also see it being something maybe where it's okay, they keep the kid with the mom for the first few years or something, but then the mom ends up dying, and he somehow, through a young story protagonist, manages to survive on his own and in the prison somehow.
Yeah. But either way, I can't wait for Emporio's backstory.
Yes.
Emporio's backstorio.
God.
But okay. No Jolyne this episode outside of a little bit of narration. And let's introduce another character.
Yes.
Let's do this again. I want to have this done for every single one of those 6 characters outside of Jolyne, of course. But
this formula worked real well.
This formula works really well. And also, because it wasn't a 2-parter, we didn't feel like we had Ermes and or the enemy stand user Macqueen in this case overstay their welcome.
Right.
I could totally see them doing it if maybe the stand user was a little bit more of a threat. Macqueen wasn't really that much of a threat.
Right.
But maybe have one that was a little bit more conniving, a little bit more intelligent with how they used their ability, and also just aware that they had that ability.
And also the fact that it's just the one protagonist in this episode, essentially. You don't have to spend as much time doing character banter and things like that before the actual plot of the episode happens. But
yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.